No matter the sport, no matter the season, we remember forever, it seems, greatness. Like a time machine,
here at the Carbon County Ballpark, come watch the ladies at 3.
the Utah Sports Hall of Fame takes us back to those special moments in our lives. To celebrate, to see the score, and hear the final horn one more time. It's fitting that out here on the Salt Flats, the vast, barren, unforgiving landscape, where pioneers struggled mightily and faced their fears while crossing into an unknown tomorrow, that Ab Jenkins did his best work.
We expect to do about 130 to 31 miles an hour. If we're successful, that'll give Ab all the American records for the distances that he runs, as well as the international and the world's records. There goes another record.
He took something that was just abhorred throughout the 19th century, the Salt Flats. Whether you were the Donner Party or riding the Pony Express, the Salt Flats were evil. And he made them an international speedway.
Faster and faster, averaging over 133 miles an hour in these last laps, breaking one record after another.
And just by the success he had, the ability to get sponsors and people that really supported what you would think would be the insanity of taking a vehicle out on those salt flats and seeing how fast you could go, and in his case, for how long you could go. How long you could go driving that fast, setting records.
Always looking for a race,
Mighty fine driving, Ab. Thank you, Russ.
Ab Jenkins amassed countless records over millions of racing miles. But it was out here where desolation thrived that he chased speed like somebody had stolen something from him. He latched on to time and space just long enough to reward himself with a single glass of milk, a simple toast of accomplishment, thereby connecting all of us to this special place on Earth.
This is not about holding back the Germans, is it? This is about trying to win here.
Skeleton racer Noelle Pica's pace had it going early on in her career, almost unbeatable. World Championships, one of the best sliders ever, the gold medal favorite heading into the 2006 Olympic Winter Games in Torino. And then a runaway bobsled slammed into her leg, fracturing her Olympic dream.
All of a sudden, this bobsled came flying out of the track and hit me and broke my leg, and I was done. I was out. And so that was really hard, not just physically, but mentally.
Healing came from a growing family, but then the Olympics came calling again in 2010. And for a moment, her dream surfaced. It was within reach, but then ended painfully short.
I finished 4th, and anybody that's been to the Olympics knows that that is the absolute worst place to be. I finished 4th by a 1/10 of a second. I missed it by less than a blink of an eye.
Hard luck on the track would be overshadowed by a miscarriage, adding heartache to crushing losses on cold ice. All of that prompted calls to let it go, move on. But no, not this woman, not this family. And so the family, husband, kids, and the Olympian trained as one for one more try.
I remember climbing over the stands and just embracing my family, and for me, that was the moment for me, was being able to just hug them and thank them. And I remember just saying, we did it. We did it, because it wasn't about me. Like, that's who people would see on that video camera going down the track, but it wasn't me. I had my family, my husband, my kids, my parents, my siblings, my whole family, my community, and I mean, Utah, all together. Everybody came together to make this moment possible. And so when I said we did it, that's truly what I mean. And I know that's how so many of us feel as athletes, is that there's no way we can do this alone, that this is a we did it moment, a we did it journey in our lives.
A comeback story of attitude, belief, and strength. A full circle, a family circle, carved forever into the ice.
University has won the Holiday Bowl 24-17, and the Cougars are the only undefeated team in the nation.
Lavelle Edwards was an incredible coach, a real gentleman, and a darn good neighbor, as this guy will tell you.
I couldn't believe Lavelle brought me this ball, but that's the kind of guy he was.
Which is why he has two special footballs. One is from the Miracle Bowl. Remember that one? Jim McMahon to Clay Brown in the end zone? He got that being a collector. And one of the rare signed footballs from the 1984 BYU championship team, that one has a real story behind it.
The 84 championship ball signed by all the players and Lavelle was actually a gift from Lavelle Edwards. And he got caught in the snowbank right here and in front of our home back about 1985.
Lavelle Edwards stuck in a snowbank. He's now on the front porch in the neighborhood, getting a snow removal team into place.
I got the oldest son and a few others, and they came out, and we all got together and were able to yank him out of the snowbank, push him out, and get him down the road here on his way. I was surprised a day or two later when he came by the door, and he had this ball in his hand that's signed by all the players, and his BYU 1984 championship ball, and he said, "I'd like your family to have this." I couldn't believe it. He had a couple of jackets too from different bowl games and things he gave us.
Oh yes, there's one more thing you should know about this neighborhood story.
Lavelle and Patty were very close friends as well as neighbors, and our son was riding a bike when he was hit by a car down here in the corner. He was 7 years old, and Patty spoke at his funeral, Patty Edwards, and they're just close friends.
Just close friends and good neighbors. About 20 years ago, we found 70-year-old Wilma Abrams on the mound throwing strikes, just to let people know she still had some pretty good stuff. And boy, she did. You see, the game of softball is not just a fun game to Wilma. It saved her at a time in life when she was down and in trouble.
I was 13 years old when I fell in love with softball. I found myself at 20, a divorced mama with 2 little girls to take care of and no money. So I had the opportunity to go to Chicago where I could earn a little money to take care of it. I went there, I enjoyed that. I was chosen Rookie of the Year. And then I came back to Utah to be with my little girls and to be part of the Shamrock team that I loved with all my heart.
45 no-hitters, love for the sport, and even at 90 years of age, a never-ending enthusiasm.
We were not just a ball team, we were an exciting ball team. We sang. And they said, "Sing us a song," okay? Oh, the Shamrocks went down to Phoenix to play. They met a team and they won that day. Oh, the Shamrocks went down to Phoenix to play. They met a team and they won that day. They're gonna be the champs someday. And we were, in lots of ways. We were close-knit. Everybody loved it. We were all there for each other because we loved that game of softball, and we played it for a long time.
Dick Motta did a lot more than popularize a phrase that says you have to play until the end, to the last out, to the final buzzer. Motta's journey to an NBA championship was unorthodox. He never played high school, college, or professional basketball, but he does remember very well being cut when he tried out for his school team and how upset he was.
I still am. Still drives me crazy, and it drove me. I didn't hate him, but I couldn't understand why he would cut me. So throughout my career, I've had to release some people, and I always let a person, even when we traded in the pros, was always face up.
In an amazing twist well into his coaching career, Dick Motta encountered the son of the coach who had cut him.
Maybe 10 years later, I get a call from this coach, and he had a son named George. And he said, would you give George a shot? I was at Weber. And so I gave him an academic shot. And he didn't make the team, but when I released him, I did different than what his dad did. You know, I told him to his face.
There's one more thing about this great basketball mind. While Dick Motta certainly cherishes many basketball memories, the fondest one, he says, it's his 1959 Grace, Idaho championship high school team. And players and coaches from that team and Motta still gather together from time to time to share their love for a game.
Stockton, open three. John Stockton sends the Utah Jazz to the NBA Finals.
The big shot was not made by a big shot, or anything close to it. John Stockton was magical on the court in the NBA, and yet he never forgot how he got there and the lessons along the way. We caught up with him as he was whistling through the NBA mid-career.
There it is. Stockton gets his 1,000th assist on the year for the 6th season for John Stockton.
The ability to meet people, work with people, try to find a way to accomplish goals together with people that are completely different from yourself. There's a zillion lessons you can learn.
In 19 years, Stockton handed out 15,806 assists in the toughest league in the world. In his aptly titled autobiography, Assisted, Stockton credits and thanks those who pointed him in the right direction as he was growing up. His sisters believed in him. His brother toughened him. And he salutes his parents for a good life and the legacy of a fine name. Coaches, nuns, and just about every player he faced on the court assisted John Stockton in some way. One of the best basketball players ever to lace him up, giving humble thanks for getting a shot at the big time.
John Stockton sends the Utah Jazz to the NBA Finals.
Get me out of bounds!
Wherever it is you find those great plays,
after review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
wonderful athletes, thrilling games, and unbuckled roller coaster rides of human emotion, you'll find their stamp.
Pass dropped, incomplete, and a flag is thrown. Pass interference. Defense. Automatic. First down.
I can see it from up here, and he had him.
And long before an official makes it to the big stage, there are many miles on the road, lots of games, in small towns, in every corner of the state, in tiny gyms, where they still hold the door open for the officials.
My official. All right. Run you in there. Thank you.
Ladies, I'm Nick. This is Angie. We're going to be your officials for tonight's two games. Congratulations on being nominated captains of your teams. Green, take care of green. White, take care of white. And we'll take care of the rest, okay?
The reason why I put my officiating into every game is because no matter if it's a JV girls game, it's a freshman girls game, JV boys game, no matter what level of play it is, it's the game to those kids that matters. That moment when they're on the court, that's the best time that they can play.
On the line, green. It's very exciting for me. I love it. I love the court. I love the fans. I love the coaches. I love the smell of the hardwood. It's what I love, and it's what I like to do.
But anybody can call a foul. You can make one up if you want to. But I found if young officials found out what a foul was not, they had a really good chance of letting the game have some life and some breath and some rhythm to it, because they didn't think that officiating was about what you called. It was really about what you didn't call.
That's what we're here for. Just keep it moving and keep it under control.
We don't need to call fouls. We don't need
No, exactly. So,
Yeah.
so
I
Steve,
didn't
think we need any more whistles in the game.
If there is a heaven for officials, we're pretty darn sure 2 Utah Sports Hall of Famers have their credentials approved.
My name is John Robison. I started officiating football in 1971. I refereed a total of 33 years.
John Robison officiated college football championships, Super Bowls, and he has a trophy case of memories raked in at the top of the sports world.
When you get there, it's indescribable, particularly those stadiums that are historical, you know. And you think of the people that have been on that same field, been in those locker rooms. It's really quite an event to be able to experience that.
Looking back on his career, Robison smiles about the achievements, and he doesn't mind talking about lifelong lessons learned from calls he missed, like an early whistle that led to a critical fumble.
And so I just was waiting for him to catch it so I could blow the whistle. And the ball got to him, and I blew the whistle, and it went right through him.
And then there's a sideline conversation that went sideways.
And one of the coaches, when I went to the sideline, was kind of getting on me, and I kind of turned and said something. I didn't, you know, chew him out or use profanity or whatever, but I said something. And as an official, the last thing I should have done, because he was very angry. I should have just listened and let him say what he needed to say, and then just continue to officiate. But as soon as I opened my mouth, it just accelerated the situation.
A wonderful life in many sports, over 800 football games on all levels, and a simple, gracious thought about what it all means to him.
I just feel so lucky.
Bell reached over his shoulder, swatted the ball.
I'm Doug Toole, and I've been officiating sports since 1960.
The kickoff in the second half, Super Bowl 32, and I'm right here on this sideline.
As a student, Doug Toole officiated junior high and high school football and basketball for $5 a game. Over the years, the pay increased. So did the assignments, taking the Colville, Utah native to the top ranks of the sports world.
This is a play in the AFC Championship game, Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. They caught this ball, went out at the 1 yard line, and they scored the next play to win the game.
Hastings motions into the backfield. Neal out of the shotgun. 4-man rush, he's going to throw it deep. And there's a man open down there, and it is caught at the 3 yard line and out of bounds at the 1.
There are plenty of photos and images of his storied career, but there's one more thing Doug Toole wants everyone who visits his home to see. It's about a very tough call made a long time ago.
My heroes are my mom and dad, and my dad turned down a waiver from being drafted and went to World War II and was killed in the Philippines in 1945. When he come home, my mom packed his clothes in the cedar chest, shut it, and went to work and raised 2 boys on her own. To me, no matter what I do, all the officiating calls I ever made in my life, I don't think any of them even come close to the decision he made to go to war, because he couldn't not participate. He said, all the young men are going, and if I don't go, I'll never be able to live with myself. To somebody of that character, I would hope that he'd be proud of me.
That Made in America pride lives on in small gymnasiums, in the grandstands, on the players' faces, and where good officials are working hard to make the right call. Our last stop is Anaconda, Montana, where Wayne Estes was born and raised. It's where he shot thousands of times, day and night, in this old memorial gym on 500 West Hickory Street, rattling the pipes into a basketball symphony. It was here, long before he pulled on jersey number 33 at Utah State University, that Wayne Estes learned about a blue-collar lifestyle.
I believe that because he loved the game so much, and he wanted to be one of the best, and he was willing to put the time in and spend hours after hours up here at this gymnasium in the pit.
Half done back, Estes gets brave, looks at his deep and pushes, and it's great! Wayne Estes has now scored 2,000 points in a 3-year career.
After a marvelous game following a big win, and on the brink of greatness, tragedy took Wayne Estes. His 2001 career points, promises in the air of what might have been. Anaconda still celebrates their lost hero with a yearly tournament bearing his name. And in the old memorial gym where it all started, there's still an occasional reminder of that hard work, dedication, and perseverance.
I don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe in the ghost of Wayne Estes, because when we came in here and shot late at night, many times, the gym would be perfectly quiet. The only sound in there would be the basketball bouncing or the ball hitting the rim, and then all of a sudden the pipes start to rattle. I know it was Wayne Estes. Absolutely.
Every now and again, Ron Estes walks down that school empty hallway for one more look at the trophies, pictures, and the empty shoes. Shoes that only a big brother could fill.
The people lost a great basketball player and a great person, but I lost a brother.
Oh, what a place. 50 years worth of sports history. Over 200 incredible athletes. This ticket, I'm saving.